It's an absolutely gorgeous day here at Brean Down in North Somerset. So I thought I'd take a walk to the very end of the down where there are some Napoleonic forts and some remnants from World War II. First I have to tackle these steps. Well, it's 20 to 10 in the morning, it's quite warm already. Brilliant. I'm just starting the steps and already you can see behind me, what a view. That's Brean and Barrow Beach, which is a very long beach. Last bit. It's pretty windy up here, so I have to go careful and watch my hat don't get blown off. Okay, so the end of Brean Down is behind me, but I'm just going to walk this way for a second because there's a rather strange building here, which I'm guessing will be a sort of lookout thing or something in the Second World War. Here you can see that they've deliberately collapsed it a long time ago, I would imagine. And that's the roof resting on the base. Let's take a quick look at the views before we start walking. So what can I see from here? Well, behind me over there is Weston-super-Mare, which is quite a big seaside resort. Got a pier there as well, which is quite nice. Then over that bit there, Mendip Hills. Then you have like part of the Somerset levels, you can see it's still very flooded. And then a little bump in the middle is Brent Knoll Hill. And then we have the Brean and Barrow Beach behind there. And you might be able to make out Hinkley Power Point in the distance. And in the far distance is Exmoor. And over there, Wales. So it's a really good viewpoint up here all around, really. Right, let's go. So walking to the end of Brean Down, there are two basic paths. There's a lower track over on that side, which I'll show you in a minute if I can see it. And this one here, which is the one I'm going to take first. This one goes straight up over the top of the hill, so it's a bit up and down, but you do go to the highest point of the down. How did that cow get there? Right on the edge. I love this bit here. There's quite a few trees which have grown or bent over because of the prevailing wind from the southwest. Great for photos, I would imagine. Just going over the top of the first hill, it dips down a bit, then up to the second hill, and I think after that it'll be the end. So not terribly long walk, but this piece of land does stick out. This is actually the last part of the Mendip Hills, and I seem to remember years ago an April Fool joke which said that there was going to be a motorway going along here over to the island of Steepholm, which is just coming into view now, and across to Wales like a new Severn Bridge. Of course, people was going mad about it, but it was an April Fool joke. Can you just imagine a motorway going through this? I don't know why I even bother bringing a coat. I've been in a t-shirt the whole time. It's quite warm actually, which has been really nice. Because I mean, the whole winter of 2023 going into 24 has been really bad. We've had a lot of rain, and it hasn't been particularly cold, but it's just rain, rain, rain. And even just a few days ago, we had hailstones, heavy rain, temperatures of like 5-6 degrees. Some parts of Devon, it was even covered in snow just a few days ago. Look at it now. Crazy how it can change so quick. So, I can't remember how many times I've been to Brean Down. I don't think there's been that many times I've been. But I've got one time from 1993 captured on film. So I had a camcorder back in those days. And I think it's about the same time of year, sort of March, April time. And we've done a little day trip. So I'll show you a few clips of that. And yes, that is me with hair.
Back here at Brean Down again, was here just over a year ago, and the weather's just as nice.
So here we are in 1993, and you can see I've got my video tripod with me. I did take my filmmaking seriously even then. And this is just a few random shots of us walking out to the end of the down. But anyway, back to 2024 now. And here's the trig point. I can't remember how high up we are, above sea level, but I will put the number on the screen there now. It's probably about 90, I would imagine, roughly. Is that a good guess or not? So the last little bit now to the end, and you can tell we're getting near the end because it's getting windier. It's not cold though. So I can't see the fort yet, but we are starting to descend quite rapidly. So I'm glad the ground has started to dry out, because if it was really muddy and wet then that might be difficult. Okay, so the fort is just starting to come into view actually. Yeah, brilliant. So on a little bit of a ridge now, sort of falls away quite steeply that side to the sea. And let's take a look. Ooh, it's not sheer, but it's pretty steep. You wouldn't want to fall. Just had to come down a steep hill, and it was pretty muddy. That was a bit worrying. But this side out of the wind, I'm absolutely melting. I'm not complaining, because we've had a lot of bad weather recently. So, oh, this is interesting. This is obviously from World War II, this bit here. It's all been reinforced, so that tourist like us can come inside now. Great mural there as well. And a great lookout position as well. You can look, I mean, proper semicircle view there of the whole estuary, really. And Wales looks so close, it's incredible. And Hinkley Point Power Station from here, and a steep home there. And you can see the currents. At the moment the tide's in on the beach, which is really surprising, because at 11 metres. It's the second highest tide in the world, so there's a lot of water movement here, but you can really see it just there. So in this room here is a stone block. I wonder if like a machine gun or something was positioned here. To the main fort now. So here we are back in 1993. And this is me walking into the fort, and the first thing I notice is how shaky the shots are. The stabilisation on the cameras just wasn't the same as what we've got today, unfortunately. I did have a wide angle adapter fitted to the camcorder, that's why there's bowing lines at the edges. But I'm just having a quick scout around some of the rooms. Here's me setting up a shot, me looking through the binoculars. It should be followed by what I'm looking at, the old pier in Weston-super-Mare, which is now burnt down and replaced with a new one. Back to 2024, and immediately you can see how smooth and stabilised the shots are compared to the 1993 shots. So I'm in the main fort now, and as you walk round, there's lots of information boards, which is brilliant, because then I can do a little voiceover and tell you everything you need to know about the fort. Let's go. As the naval military strength of France grew in the late 1850s under Napoleon III, numerous forts around the south coast were built in addition to four in the Bristol Channel at Brean Down, Flatholm, Steepholm and Lavernock Point in Wales. 4 acres at the tip of Brean Down were requisitioned in 1862 for Brean Fort, but building was not completed until 1870 due to disagreements between the contractor and the government, and was decommissioned in 1901. On the outbreak of World War II, the fort was rearmed with 2 6-inch fixed naval guns, and machine gun posts were built on the down. So this picture on the left shows what the barrack room would have looked like between 1870 and 1900. This is where the soldiers ate, slept and spent off-duty hours. It was built to house 20 men, but for most of the time only 4 or 5 gunners lived here. Their beds opened out from the wall, doubling as chairs when folded up. It's hard to imagine that soldiers' wives and children would have lived here too. So during the Second World War, the barrack room was used as a canteen and leisure area. The soldiers slept in huts outside the fort. The serving hatch into the kitchen was a 1940s addition. You can still see the steel roller for the shutter. The building on the cliffs below is a searchlight post built during the Second World War. Vulnerable to attack, they were made of reinforced concrete and covered with camouflage paint. The searchlights, protected by armoured steel shutters, could scan the sea for enemy ships over a 2-mile radius. During the Second World War, scientists from nearby HMS Birnbach used the fort for experimental weapons development. They carried out many curious tests, none of which went according to plan. There was one called the Seaborne bouncing bomb. A trolley was to carry the bomb down the track, and then on impact with buffers at the far end, project it into the air. But the trolley travelled so fast that it burst into flames, crashed through the buffers and took the whole lot over the cliff. Another invention was called the expendable noisemaker. This was designed to decoy enemy acoustic torpedoes by emitting rhythmic detonations. However, at one trial, the rocket turned inland, exploded, then landed in a nearby chicken run. Two new gun emplacements were built in 1941. Each was equipped with a 6-inch naval gun from scrapped First World War ships. These had a range of up to 20 miles, twice the width of the Bristol Channel at this point. The emplacements had camouflaged roofs to protect against overhead attack. Known as plastic armour, the roofs were made of a mixture of tar and stone chippings, supported on a grid of iron girders. For safety reasons, they were removed in 1976. Not sure if I can get through down here because it does look very muddy. I might be able to get around the edge. This wall is all that remains of the engine house. Built in 1941, it housed a 22 kilowatt diesel generator which supplied electricity to the powerful new searchlights and naval guns, as well as the administration buildings. Well, I can't really go any further because it's very muddy. So I'm going to head back now. So that was the Napoleonic Second World War fort, and I'm going to make my way back now on the lower track. Going back, I can see lots of bases basically of, I would imagine this is stuff in the Second World War. Nothing's left of them, unfortunately. Yeah, it's a shame those buildings were demolished. That would have been a lot more stuff to have a look at. But maybe it's because it was unsafe perhaps or something. Right, so this is a really easy track and it should be flatter than the way I came because it's sticking to the Weston-super-Mare side of the hill. It looks like a quad bike or even a Jeep or a Land Rover could come along there really. But this is owned by the National Trust, so it's not a public road. So here we are back in 1993 again for the last bit of camcorder footage that I shot on this walk. I'm taking a walk back over the top of the down. Put the camera on the video tripod to get some nice close-ups. And look at the zoom power on these camcorders in those days, incredible. The obligatory walking past shot, yes, even in those days I was doing that sort of thing way before YouTube. Anyway, back to 2024 again now. And here I am on the beach at Brean. The tide's gone out a little bit more now, which is nice, and exposed the vast expanse of sand and mud. Many a time people have got their cars stuck in the mud because part of the beach along here you can drive along and park. I don't know if I could do that now. What a glorious day, and what a great day that was for a walk. So I hope you enjoyed that little walk to the end of Brean Down to see all the old buildings and history there. And I'll see you guys next time.